First functional group we will discuss is a carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is any compound by which a carbon is bonded to an oxygen by a double band and to a hydroxyl group by a single band. The fourth bond can either be a linkage of hydrogen or any univalent combining group. It was named carboxyl group because it is a combination of carbonyl group and a hydroxyl group. The carboxylic acid were found to be useful on us. For example, the formic acid, which is a simplest carboxylic acid used as a disinfectant, acid-reducing agent, and textile treatment. The acetic acid, which is known to be the content of vinegar, is used to produce cellulose plastics and esters. The soaps and cosmetic products, as well as candles, contains stearic and palmitic acid. On the other hand, the stearic acid were used to manufacture rubbers. Our detergents and other soap products contains oleic acid. The acrylic acid, which acts as an esters to produce polymers known as acrylate. To identify the IUPAC name of this structure, we must first identify the parent chain. In this structure, the parent chain is butane because of its 4-carbon chain. In naming a carboxylic acid, we add oic acid as a prefix, so butane plus oic acid. The name of this structure is butanoic acid. In drawing the structure of pentane dioic acid, we must start with the parent chain, which is the pentane. We will draw a 5-carbon chain. After that, since it is dioic acid, we add 2-carboxylic acid to each terminal carbon. In drawing a benzoic acid, we start with drawing a benzene ring, and then we will attach a COOH to one of the carbon of the benzene ring.
This element belongs to a group where carbon double bonded to a oxygen is called a carbonyl group. Compounds in which carbons of carbonyl group is bonded to 2 other carbons are called ketones. The common names of ketone is determined by naming in alphabetical order, or alkyl group followed by the carbonyl group, then adding the suffix -one. The location of the carbonyl group in the molecule is identified by numbering the longest chain of carbons, so that the carbonyl group has the lowest possible number. There are many essential uses of ketones, and they form an inevitable part of many industrial processes. Ketones play an important role in many of the products we use every day. Automotive finishes, wood coatings, and inks are just some of the products developed using ketones. Ketones are widespread in nature, including plants, microorganisms, animals, and humans. Ketones behave as an excellent solvent for certain types of plastic and synthetic fiber. Acetone acts as a paint thinner and a nail paint remover. It is also used for medicinal purposes such as chemical peeling procedures as well as acne treatments. Butanone, also known as methyl ethyl ketone, is one of the common solvents. It is used in textile production, varnishes production, paint remover production, paraffin wax production, plastic production, and etc. Here are some examples in naming ketones. Our first example is this structure. First, identify the longest chain or the parent chain of this structure. Starting from the right, count 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 carbons. Therefore, it is a propane. And our ketone group is at the second position. Therefore, the suffix is 2-one. So if we will put this all together, in propane, drop E and add -one, and put the 2 in front of propanone. Final name, 2-propanone. Second example. So first, let's find the longest chain or the parent chain of the structure. So counting from the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 carbons, therefore it is a butane. Then we have our substituent on the third position. It is a 3-methyl. Then our ketone group is located at the second position, where our suffix will be 2-one. If we combine this together, drop E in butane and add -one. Then you will add 3-methyl and 2. Final name 3-methyl 2-butanone. For our last example, first find the longest chain. So counting from the left, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 carbons, therefore it is a pentane. And our suffix will be 2-one. If we combine this together, the final name will be pentan 2-one.
Esters are characterized by a carbon bound to 3 other atoms, a single band to a carbon, a double band to an oxygen, and a single band to an oxygen. The single bound oxygen is bound to another carbon. In addition, ester names are derived from the parent alcohol and the parent acid. While simple esters are often called by their common names, all esters can be named using the systematic IUPAC name based on the name for the acid followed by the suffix -ate. Here are the following uses of esters and examples in nature. Esters known as parabens are used as food and drug preservatives, as a result of which they will resist the growth of microorganisms like molds and yeast. Esters have good odor, as they are used as an ingredient of perfumes, food flavorings to spice up the flavor and smell of processed foods, in essential oils, cosmetics, and more. Esters are used as associate in raising organic solvent. Natural esters are found in pheromones. Present fats and oils are carboxylic acid esters of glycerine. Phosphoesters form the backbone of DNA molecules. Esters are utilized in the assembly of polyester. Nitrate esters, like glyceryl trinitrate, are acknowledged for its explosive properties. The first example is propyl butanoate. Always remember that an ester has 2 parts. One is from the carboxylic acid, which is the parent chain, and the other is from the alcohol, which is the side chain. So this is how you draw the structure. We have another example, the ethyl butanoate. So this is how you draw the structure. And for our last example, we have the pentyl octanoate, and this is how you draw the structure. Always remember to put the suffix -ate when you write or name an ester.
Amides are molecules that contain nitrogen atoms connected to the carbon atoms of carbonyl group. Like amines, various nomenclature rules may be used to name amides, but all includes use of the class-specific suffix amide. Amides are products of reaction of carboxylic acid to an amines or ammonia through a process called amidation. Though this reaction, proteins were formed because amino acids were linked together in a polymer. Nature of acrylamide. Acrylamide is used in different applications, but is best known as probably carcinogenic and be present in many foods to be formed by natural processes to cooking. They are a source of energy for the human body. For example, can be vitamins in the body or painkillers. Amides are common in nature and are found in substances such as amino acid, proteins, DNA and RNA, hormones, and vitamins. It is used by the body for excretion of ammonia or NH3.
So here are some examples in naming amides. The first example, let us name this structure. So first, find the longest chain or the parent chain. So starting from the right, our parent chain will be 1, 2. Therefore, it is a ethane. And our suffix, amide. Final name, ethanamide. For our second example, first, find the longest chain or the parent chain of the structure. So counting from the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, it is a butane. Then we have a substituent, which is a 3-methyl. And for our suffix, amide. For our final name, it will be 3-methyl butanamide. For our last example, first find the longest chain or the parent chain. So counting from the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 carbons is a pentane. So we have a substituent that is a carbon bonded to a nitrogen. So this will be called an N-methyl. And for our suffix, amide. And for the final name, N-methyl pentanamide.
Aldehyde is any of a class of organic compounds in which a carbon atom shares a double bond with an oxygen atom, a single bond with an hydrogen atom, and a single bond with another group or group of atoms, or designated R in general chemical formulas and structure diagrams. The double bond between carbon and oxygen is characteristic of all aldehydes and is known as the carbonyl group. Many aldehydes have pleasant odors, and in principle, they are derived from alcohols by dehydrogenation or removal of hydrogen, from which process came the name aldehyde.
Aldehydes are a family of reactive organic compounds that occur in natural products like cinnamon bark or cinnamaldehyde and vanilla bean or vanillin. Also can be manufactured in laboratory. Some aldehyde compounds, for example, formaldehyde and acetaldehyde, are common building blocks to make other chemicals used in resins, perfumes, dyes, and organic acids. Formaldehyde is known for its preservative and antibacterial properties. And formaldehyde-based chemistry also is a component in a range of products, including composite and engineered wood products in building and construction.
The first example is pentanol. Pen means 5, so the structure should have 5 carbon atoms bonded with aldehyde. How can we name this type of aldehyde? Let's start by counting the number of carbons in the parent chain. As we can see, it has 7 carbons and a methyl substituent in carbon 4. So, this would be named as 4-methyl heptanol. This time, let's name aldehydes with a ring. We have a cyclopentane ring and an aldehyde. It is called cyclopentane carbaldehyde. Carbaldehyde is a suffix used when an aldehyde is attached to a ring.